Chavad, with your permission. Shana is coming. And the highlight of Rosh Hashanah is Akedat Yitzchak. The Gemara comes and tells us that even though the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, Rosh Hashanah is Yom Hadin, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us how to avoid a bad judgment. The Gemara says, Hashem said, you know what? Make me a king. What it means is say a few sentences from the Tanakh that I am a king. And says 10 sentences from Tanakh about remembering. I remember you. And then 10 sentences from Tanakh about the shofar. And I remember you. One of the afterot that you read, Azvani Hashem, Hashem Shechachani. Says Hashem Chas Shalom can forget about somebody. He doesn't forget because he has a lack of memory, because he doesn't want to remember. Hashem is to recognize us, that we're here. In Rosh Hashanah, Hashem wants to remember us. And actually, Rosh Hashanah in the Tefillah, in the Birkat, it's called Yom HaZikaron. It doesn't say Yom Adin. It should say Yom Adin, Rosh Hashanah, B'Yom Hadin Hazeh, or B'Yom Rosh Hashanah Hazeh. No, we say Yom HaZikaron. You see, the most important thing in Rosh Hashanah is the remembrance. It means Hashem remembers us. He wants to remember us. And if he remembers you, so-called, the judgment will not be so harsh. Maybe it won't be at all. We'll see later. So comes the Mishnah and comes the Gemara and says, look, it's very easy. What do you worry about Rosh Hashanah? Say those 30 sentences from the Tanakh. Exemption. Court dismiss. I says, what does it mean exactly? So the guy has a file. Hashem did something not supposed to do. There's a court. You can't say, okay. So actually the Gemara says, what really you want Hashem to remember you? Not just remember you as an individual. Hashem remembers you that you are like Yitzchak Avinu. You Yitzchak. Akedat Yitzchak, lezaru hayom berachamim tizkor. This is one of the brachot of Musaf. Hashem, remember Yitzchak. Again, Hashem doesn't forget anything. And also, it's hard to believe the person can cash this credit card of Yitzchak every year. How many times in your life you can cash Yitzchak Avinu. Besides, the whole thing about Yitzchak Avinu is a little bit, I should say, like a joke. Can you imagine bring somebody to court and the lawyer will tell, you know, judge, this guy's great-grandfather was a big tzaddik rabbi, and that's why he robbed the bank. So for this, another 10 years in jail. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You had such a great rabbi in your family, or doesn't matter, a scholar, whatever it is, and you became a rabbi? But when you say about Hashem, Akedat Yitzchak, what Akedat Yitzchak? So, that's a few thousand years ago, Avraham Avinu did something, okay. But you can, every day, or every year of Rosh Hashanah, say, Akedat Yitzchak. Hashem knows it already. Nevertheless, comes the Gemara, this is the highlight of Rosh Hashanah, is Akedat Yitzchak. Kadosh Baruch Hu even say, כאילו אכלתם עצמכם לפניי, Hashem said, if you do Akedat Yitzchak, it's like you tied yourself up in front of me. So what does it mean? A person really, that's what he wants. He has to imagine on Rosh Hashanah that his hands are tied to his feet, and he's standing in front of Hashem. He'll be very serious. Rosh Hashanah is not a play. It's not Purim. He'll be very serious. People will shake on Rosh Hashanah. It's a decision. Your parnasa, your children, everything is Rosh Hashanah. You think it's a joke? Then you have a shofar. What is shofar? Hashem said, give us a mitzvah shofar on Rosh Hashanah. Yom Teruah yeh lachem. What's our secret in it? What's the secret in it? What's the, how does it work? Gemara says, V'amei ya'aleh zichronchem lefanai b'shofar. If you want Hashem to remember you on Rosh Hashanah, says the Gemara, is shofar. What do you mean? If I blow the shofar, Hashem remembers me. If I don't blow the shofar, doesn't remember me. Hashem, what does it mean? First tell me I cannot Yitzchak. I don't understand. Then tell me shofar. But shofar is a special tool that Hashem remembers people. What does it mean exactly? So the Ari says like this. Ari says, one of the sentences that hints about Elul is in Shir HaShirim. Sentence reads like this. אני לדודי ודודי לי. I am for my favorite is to me. The same explanation means, Elul, you have to devote yourself to Hashem. אני לדודי, לדודי לי, will be for me. What does it mean exactly? I don't know exactly what people think. I really don't know what it means. On the surface, I don't know what it means. I'm for Hashem, I'm for Hashem. What does it mean exactly? What does it mean? I'm for Hashem. What do you mean? On the contrary, this is the chapters the Goyim made, so sometimes it's better not to say the chapters, because the Goyim so get credit for it. They divided the Tanakh. All the Chumash, all the chapters are wrong. This is easy for us to remember. In time of Gemara, to remember paragraph. Parshiyot, and it said Parshiyah, this number Parshiyah, and the sentence of that Parshiyah, but not chapters. Oh. The Gemara said you should not, if you're looking for an address, as before Waze was born, you're not allowed to say, okay, at the church, you make it right. You're not allowed to. I said, even, you write dates on checks on this. You should not write numbers. That says today is 9/6. What's 9? You recognize the Goyim. You write September is the name. But 9 it means you believe in the year. What do you do? So this chapter 6 is read Ani Dodi Dodi. Chapter 2, it says the opposite. Dodi li vanilo. It's the opposite. My favorite is for me, and I am for him. So it said, Elul, what's Elul? Elul is, I am for my favorite, and Nila Dodi Dodi. A few chapters before, it says the opposite. It sounds like a contradiction. Again, we don't know what it means exactly. What does it mean exactly? Chachamim explained to us like this. What is the scene of Adam HaRishon that he ate from the tree? Why Hashem is so upset? Maybe the Torah. Hashem told him, don't eat, and he ate. Okay. He ate. So, okay. So he said, Rabbi Nissim said, you want to know something? I'll tell you what it is. Rosh Hashanah was chosen by Kadosh Baruch Hu to be the day of judgment, because Rosh Hashanah is so-called the Yortzeit. At the time Hashem was created, and he, seen on the first day of creation, a few hours after he was born, Ba'aseri Sarach, 2 hours before sunset. That's when he ate, the Gemara says, and Kadosh Baruch Hu so-called judged him and left him alone, and let him live. Therefore, Kadosh Baruch Hu chose this day, that every year, Rosh Hashanah, is so-called likewise, Adam HaRishon was it's like Bedimos, it's called Gemara. It means he went free, you're going to get free also. Free? Why? Because the Yotzat, what's the Yotzat? Hashem somebody go to court and says, Mr. Anna, I would like you to judge me on that day. You know why? Because 2,000 years ago I heard that day you released one of the criminals. But there's too many things. Hashem let Adam HaRishon go. So therefore what? Every year, Rosh Hashanah is to be on that day, it should be the opposite. You should never be judged on the day that Adam Rishon sinned. The prosecutor will say, oh, here, again the same day, they do the same thing. Nevertheless, Rabbi Nissim said, no, that's Rosh Hashanah. What was the sin of Adam Rishon? Again, he ate. Okay, so think about it. God of mercy told you don't eat. Okay, so eat. So what is the sin? What's the problem exactly? So what if I eat from a tree? I don't understand. Maybe he killed somebody, big crime, okay, something, I understand. He just took the fruit and he ate, it's okay. I don't even know how much he ate. A small piece, 27 grams. Okay, so. Let me tell us like this, look. Rosh Hashanah is the day of judgment, it's true. But it's not the judgment of the sins. Hashem recognizes everything. He knows everything. The problem is that we don't do teshuvah on the spot. Likewise, the Gemara says, Moshe Rabbeinu prayed to Hashem, Hashem, please let me go. Hashem doesn't listen to him. The Gemara says, you know why? The Gemara says one version. Because when Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, after he hit the rock, he's not going to go to Israel, Moshe said, okay, let's see. B'ezrat Hashem, we'll get to that point, I'll pray to Hashem. Because he pushed, so-called, the prayer for later. On the spot, the Gemara says, Moshe should have done teshuvah. Sorry, Hashem, please. Likewise, and Miriam got tzaraat. Aaron went to Moshe and says, please, pray to Hashem right now. Miriam, she cannot have tzaraat. Moshe prayed, Kella Rafanala, finished. Adam Rishon, yes, did Shiva, the Gemara did Shiva. What's the problem? The problem is, when the person does not listen to Hashem, he creates a bad smell in the area. Like what says Shulchan Aruch, says the Gemara. You cannot say bracha if you smell a garbage truck passes by. What does it do with me? What does it do with me? I say Baruch Atah Hashem, the garbage truck passes by. Okay, so that doesn't smell good. Okay, so what does it do with this? Well, Hashem does not dwell in a place that has odor that doesn't smell good. A sin creates an odor. That's the problem. Therefore, Hashem was very upset at Adam Rishon, not because he ate from the tree, because he didn't listen. And if you don't listen, it means you chase HaKadosh Baruch Hu from that spot. That's the problem. That's the sin, not that he ate. The result of eating is that you did not care about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And actually, the Gemara says what happened. The Gemara says, you know what happened after Adam Rishon ate from the tree? Hashem left Gan Eden, went up one flight. So he's not on earth anymore. And of course, our destination is Hashem should come. Hashem should come down. It happened on Har Sinai the first time. Not the first time, soon you see when it was the first time. First time, so-called black and white people say, Hashem came on Har Sinai. I said, what do you want? The Gemara says, at that time, Hashem, so-called, did wind back all the way to creation. At the same time, Adam HaRishon, Gemara says, Am Yisrael reached the level of Adam HaRishon before the sin. What does it mean? It means Hashem was there. Hashem came down. And this is the Rambam says, this is Yesod HaEmunah. Yesod HaEmunah, you believe in Hashem, is not because of the miracle that happened. Just because Har Sinai. What's the reason? Why you can't believe? I'm saying all the miracles are Emunah Shesh B'Tzed Lofi. It means, it's not something that will stay with you. What will stay with you? Har Sinai. Har Sinai. What difference between, think about it, what do you think difference between Har Sinai and splitting Yam Suf? Millions of Egyptians went to the jacuzzi. So, that's no good. No, that's no good. But Har Sinai, because you heard Hashem, so what? What difference? I said, no, because in Har Sinai you reach the level of Adam Hashem before the sin, it means Hashem is back. This is our destination. The Zohar says that the person should pray all the time. Not, I want this. Should concentrate on the Geula. Geula means Mashiach is step one, escalate every time. The third is the Shechina comes down. And that's what the Torah describes when Moshe built the Mishkan. So the Gemara says, it's in the text, Hashem hints. Am Yisrael came to Moshe and said, look, you don't feel nothing. You're supposed to feel. You come to the Knesset, the Gemara in Megillah says, in Bavel, in Iraq, people used to come to shul, a certain shul. He says, Shechina is here. Gemara in Megillah says the name Hutzal. There was another shul over there. You have to feel it. If you come to the shul and you feel it in a hotel, it means nothing. The Shechina is not there. I mean, Hashem is everywhere, of course. It's called massive of Shechina. You have to walk in the shul, you have to feel something. It's happened when the Mishkan, Am Yisrael came, Moshe built the Mishkan, beautiful. It says Moshe, Hashem, what's the whole thing is about? The Gemara says Moshe and Aaron went outside and prayed to Hashem. Lay down on the floor, says Hashem, please Shechina, please Shechina. I said, that's the goal. The goal is not the Mishkan, the goal is not Beit HaMikdash. Eretz Yisrael is nothing. Eretz Yisrael is the place of Beit HaMikdash. Beit HaMikdash is nothing. Beit HaMikdash is a place that Hashem is going to be there. Hashem wants to be Beit HaMikdash. And the Gemara says, after Adam HaRishon ate from the tree, he created an order. And says Hashem lifted himself up, he went up. Finished. The Gemara continues. Cain killed Hebel. Again, created an order. Hashem, the order was so bad, Hashem went up second floor. And Dor Anosh, they made Avodah Zarah, third floor. Dor HaMabul, fourth floor. Dor HaFlaga, fifth. Dor Sdom, sixth. The Egyptians' behavior, seven. Hashem's went all the way up to the Shammai. Says the Gemara, came Avraham Avinu, brought HaKadosh Baruch Hu one flight down. Eventually, Hashem is going to go on Har Sinai. But let's, what is in the person's head, says the Zohar, somebody asks you, what do you want to do in your life? Nothing. I want Hashem to come back, that's all. That's what the mitzvot Hashem gave us. And the restrictions, the mitzvot say, is in order for us to be able, so-called, to pull the Shekhinah down. That's it. And that's the Gemara says, Mashiach will come, the Shekhinah will be down. But ask that Hashem, Kamayim Le'em Mechasim. It says, that's then. So we're looking forward, not Mashiach. You're looking forward for the Shekhinah to come. Actually, the Gemara says you should know that's the secret of Akedat Yitzchak. You think about Akedat Yitzchak is nothing. It's nothing. If somebody believes in Hashem and Hashem tells him, listen, go slaughter your son. So what do you say? You don't want to go? Your son will have a heart attack. Accident. If you believe in Hashem, just, we're not talking about Avraham Avinu's belief. It's so high. Just a regular belief. I believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem tells you something. You wake up in the morning, Hashem told me to slaughter my son. So what's the big deal? I wouldn't go. I go because I believe in Hashem. By the way, I was thrown into a fire when I was 52 years old. Nimrod threw me into the fire, and I came out of the fire. So after such a thing, what do you mean? Do you have any test? There's no more test. There's no more test. What's the test? It's a joke. If I threw myself into the fire and Hashem actually took me out of the fire in front of everybody in Iraq, hundreds of thousands of people. So I have a test. I have no more test. It's not true. Impossible. Especially the last one. Slaughter Yitzchak is a joke. It's not a test. Hashem said slaughter. Okay, fine. So what shall I do? As I said before, if I don't slaughter him, something will happen to him. It's not Hashem that wants to. Hashem wants him dead, right? Fine. Okay, so Hashem b'chabo. And if you have a munah, it's nothing. It's a joke. It's a joke. This is the test. The Gemara says Hashem told Avraham, listen, if you fail this test, you failed all the tests before. But you got 10 tests, so I have a score of 90. Okay, this test is maybe more point. Hashem told Avraham, whatever you did all your life is nothing if you don't slaughter Yitzchak. So he didn't slaughter Yitzchak anyway. So it means that's the test. So what's the test? What's the meaning of the test? And the Gemara says that Hashem told him, take him. The angel told him, take him off. Don't do it. Avraham said, Hashem told me. He said, no, Hashem only told you to bring him on the altar. Sounds like a joke. So here, Akedat Yitzchak, and you read it, you see the secret in it. This is very much like this. Avraham Avinu goes, the Gemara says the Satan came and he made a fake lake, man-made lake. Avinu goes into the lake, Avraham Avinu lose. He saw on the map, there's no lake over here. What lake? Where's lake? Where's lake? Lake George? Where's lake? Avinu goes into the lake and swim to Hashem, the lake dried. Satan makes it a lake, You go on the highway, you think it's traffic. It's not traffic. Sometimes it's not traffic. The Satan makes it. There's nothing in the front. All of a sudden, the whole thing goes This whole thing is sheker. Satan does everything. A lake, he made a lake. It's a Gemara. Okay, he goes. The Torah says this, ביום השלישי, on the third day, this is like a יצחק. ויסע אברהם מתם וירא מקום מרחוק. אברהם looks to see the place. He says, what do you mean? What do you see? What do you see? He does not tell now what it is. Here's a test. Hashem didn't tell him where to go. What does it mean? What does it mean exactly? What does it mean? Hashem told him to go slaughter Yitzchak. Okay, so go slaughter him. So what was it? Took him 3 days from Beersheba to go to Yerushalayim. Hebron, Beersheba. Okay. On the third day he sees Hashem. The Gemara says, what do you see? I mean, he saw a blue cloud hangs on the mountain. It means the Shekhinah is there. It's the first time Shekhinah came back, by the way. It's not on Sinai. It's a blue cloud. That's Hashem arrives in a blue cloud. By the way, off the record, I know people saw a blue cloud at the Kotel. I know people. Blue cloud is Shekhinah. When sees the Shekhinah, Torah says, it tells Eliezer and Yimach Shemo, Ishmael, stay over here. So why they stay here? God says, Abraham asked them, do you see anything? They say, yet. We don't see nothing. So, you don't see nothing, you look at donkey. Donkey doesn't see, you don't see. Don't come with me. Okay. Story in the Torah. I don't understand. It's like that Yitzchak, why are you telling me who knows? It's a Torah Kedusha. Torah tells you a story. He sees, they don't see. What does it mean exactly? Why they don't see? He is a Rosh Yeshiva. Went to Lab to Gan Eden, he doesn't see. Why he doesn't see? He doesn't see, that's okay. Okay, no. Stay here with the donkey. What's my problem? I don't say I'm Rosh Yeshiva. What's the problem? What's my problem? I don't see. So everybody is being Mekubal. Then Akrat Yitzchak. And after the angel tells him, don't slaughter Yitzchak. And Avinu goes and sees over there a sheep, an and he slaughters it. And he says like this. ויקרא אברהם שבמקום ההוא השם יראה. Abraham said, okay, that place time now here is a place that Hashem sees. Okay. Asher Yamer Hayom, what's going to be said today, Be'ar Hashem Yireh. Hashem should be here forever. This should be so-called Bet HaMikdash. Gemara says, after Adam HaRishon did what he did, the only person can fix the sin of Adam HaRishon is Avraham Avinu. And therefore Hashem did not create Adam HaRishon first, Avraham Avinu first, because after that nobody would be able to fix it. What is really Avraham Avinu? We know Avraham Avinu. We realize, by the way, there's a boss. Yesh Melech, Yesh Baal Abira. There is a king. I said, he wants to see the king. I want to see. Actually, Am Yisrael told Moshe Rabbeinu before Har Sinai, we want to see Otzonei Lorot Malkeinu. We want to see him. Why want to see him? We don't see him over there. We want to see him here. תתאם להנחתך, בכל לשבתך, פעלת שמי לשם גודלך. Am Yisrael said, זה כלי וענווהו. What does it mean? The Gemara says, I see Hashem. Okay, what's וענווהו? The Targum says, I want to build a Bet HaMikdash for him. You're in the middle of Yom Tov. In the middle of Yom Tov, you say, Hashem, I see you. Ze Keli. The finger everybody saw. Everybody pointed. Here's Hashem. Okay, so here's Hashem. So what are you going to ask if you see Hashem? I want Hashem to stay here, to dwell here. They saw Hashem up there. And they who? I want, Targum says it, Onkelos. And they I want to build Bet HaMikdash. I want the Shekhinah down. That's the goal in life. And that's what Avraham Avinu had in life. And here comes Hashem, tells me, okay, go slaughter Yitzchak over there. You know what it means? Oh, it means that Shekhinah is going to come down. Likewise, when Cain and Abel build an altar on the same spot, excuse me, that Avraham Avinu is going to slaughter Yitzchak, what happened? Fire came from Haman. The Shekhinah came down. Here, Hashem tells Avraham Avinu, listen to it, I told you what, you go, El Chadarim, no, let me tell you, so I don't tell you where, you know why? Because I want you to search the place that the Shekhinah is going to be there. I the Shekhinah is going to be there, I'll tell you what. You're going to slaughter Yitzchak. You're going to put him on an altar. You slaughter somebody on an altar in the place of the Mikdash. the fire comes down. It's happened in Bet HaMikdash. Bet HaMikdash, Shlomo built Bet HaMikdash, fire came down. In the Mishkan, Moshe opened up the Mishkan, fire came down on the altar. Still, it's not a test for me. It's not a test. I'll tell you what the test is. So Avinu goes, on the third day he saw the Shekhinah. So, right, now I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to slaughter my son over there. He says, because I see the Shekhinah on top of the mountain. I saw a blue cloud. I want a blue cloud to rest on the mountain. This is the Hakedat Yitzchak. Okay? And he goes over there, and the angel told him, don't slaughter. He says, Hashem, listen. This is the place that I want you to look. Asher Yamer Hayom, says the Rabbi Aderet, it means that eventually this place is going to be Bet HaMikdash. I want Bet HaMikdash, not because I want Bet HaMikdash, because I want the Shekhinah, I want the blue cloud to come down. The test is, if always that is one track mind, Shekhinah. So, if there's a Shekhinah, Hashem tells Avraham, go to Yitzchak, he jumped out of bed in the morning. What's the rush? Hashem did not tell you when to slaughter Yitzchak. Take your time. You go upstate New York, George, come back. There's no date. You have to get up early in the morning to do it. I get up early in the morning because Hashem told me to slaughter my son. It means the Shekhinah is going to be there. The Shekhinah is coming down on the altar. I'm running to do it. You, Eliezer, and Yimach Shemcha Ishmael, you don't see it because you don't think about Shekhinah. That's why you don't see it. You're Kibir Rosh Yeshiva. Eliezer. Eliezer, the biggest. What you have in your head all the time. This is the only time you want the Shekhinah to be here. That's what Hashem wanted, that's what you want. Chas v'shalom, you do a sin, you produce an order, it means you chase Hashem. That's your problem in life. The mitzvot, and bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu closer, and the sin, chas v'shalom, push away HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what Avraham says after HaKadosh Yitzchak. Hashem, I want you down. What was the test? The test is, after Yitzchak, so what do you have in mind? What do you have in mind now? That's what I have in mind. That's nothing. Let's actually happen the same thing to Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu has a dream, he leaves his house, and he goes to Lavan's house. He gets to Lavan's city, and says, I passed Yerushalayim, I did not stop to pray in the place that my forefathers pray Avraham and Yitzchak. He says, what's the big deal? We say Shmoneh Esrei here. We want to pray over there. Why do you want to pray over there? Why do you want to pray? Because that's the place that Shekhinah should be. And therefore he has a dream. And in the dream he sees Hashem. And he gets up and says, that's the place of Hashem. You know what? I'm going over here to make a monument. I want this place to be a house for Hashem. It means I saw Hashem in a dream. In Hashem in Tzavalav. I saw the ladder. I saw the angels. Now I want Hashem. If that's the place, this is the place. He says, I want this place to be the Shekhinah. That's what he has. Nothing else. This is the future of Am Yisrael. Of course, the conditions is the Torah. Come the Targum and say, I want to explain to you what's Elul. I needed a deep drilling. You know what it means? I tell you. Ana lach dodech. Ana, shouldn't you? I says, where are you? Who? Hashem. What does it mean? We're talking about the Jewish people in Iraq and Iran after the destruction of first Bet HaMikdash. Hashem came to Koresh, told him, let the Jews build Bet HaMikdash. Hashem doesn't want to build Bet HaMikdash. Hashem wants to be there. Hashem wants to come down. Hashem gives us another chance. He told Koresh, can you help them? He says, Ana lach dolecha v'anashim. That's the explanation of the sentence. Where is the favorite? Where is he? Dodi yarad legano. Dodi, my favorite, came down. What does it mean? I am going to do certain things to arrange Bet HaMikdash. I need to do we are going to build Bet HaMikdash for Hashem. Vedodili, and Hashem is going to come to Bet HaMikdash, is going to dwell there. That is the goal. Let's Elul the Chachamim say. That's what Ari says. Well, you know what you're doing Elul? I do Teshuvah. It's Yom HaDin, Rosh Hashanah, Yom HaZikaron. Wait. Yom HaZikaron means Hashem is going to remember me because he remembers Akedat Yitzchak. Of course he remembers Akedat Yitzchak. No, you understand. Akedat Yitzchak means Hashem wants you to remember your task. What's your job in this world is to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the Shekhinah. Let's do Akedat Yitzchak. Let's do Akedat Baruch Hu. Listen. Remember what? Remember Akedat Yitzchak. Hashem remembers. No. I want to explain to you something, Hashem. I realize something. It's not the sins that I did. I know the sins are nothing for you. The problem is the sins that I committed last year, or lack of mitzvot that I did not bring you down, or chas shalom, didn't let you come down. Now I realize it. He says, Elul, no Elul? No, 30 days in Elul before Rosh Hashanah, you tell Hashem, listen, slichot, what's slichot? You said the same thing as last year. No, every day I'm trying again for Hashem to come down. And I know I did certain things, and I'm sorry I did it. And those things prevented Hashem from coming down. But I know my task. I know what you want from me. And actually, the Gemara says, Yerushalmi, become a new person. Yerushalmi says, and the Torah says in the sacrifice, Parashat Pinchas, that Hashem writes about the sacrifices. But there in Parashat Pinchas it says, ועשיתם עולה. עשיתם? והקרבתם. Sacrifice. No, you should do. Yerushalmi, you know what? Rosh Hashanah, you become a new person. You become a new person? How do you become a new person? Why? Because you do the Teshuvah? It's possible. He said, no, it's much deeper than that. He says, I have a new job. My job is to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this year I'm going to try harder. I'm going to make sure that everything I'll do is right, because I want Hashem down. You know who says it? Gemara Yerushalmi. Gemara Yerushalmi says, when we blow the shofar, the Satan thinks Mashiach is here. Why Mashiach is here? Because you blow shofar? No. Because shofar, the Gemara says, so-called ignites the shofar of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he blew on Har Sinai. That he's going to blow when Mashiach will come. And that shofar reminds HaKadosh Baruch Hu about Akedat Yitzchak. And that Hashem remembers me. Remembers you what? Hashem remembers that I'm going to have a job. I said, I want to have a job. I said, you want a job? Okay. Tell you what. On Rosh Hashanah, blow the shofar. You blow the shofar, then you hear the shofar, then you realize something. You're going to wake up something, and by waking up, you know your job. You're sleeping all the time. What does this mean? Tell you a secret, top secret. Somebody came over to me, told me, I couldn't get up for Shacharit. Can you imagine? I had 5 alarm clocks, and I couldn't wake up. If you wake up with an alarm clock, something is wrong with you. You're supposed to say Kriyat Shema v'Da'ari and to have the kavanah. When Ari says to have a kavanah, U'ach Vodi, U'aneve v'chno Shachar, the minute that you want to wake up, you wake up. Not a second later, maybe before. It's not the alarm clock. The alarm clock doesn't wake you up. I'll tell you the secret why you're waking up. Now, it's the Gemara, Brachot. Gemara Brachot says like this, you know, Hashem created the organs in the system. And every organ has a job. For example, the Gemara says, Kaved koes. When you get angry, what happened? What happened to get angry? What happened? Tell me what happened. The Gemara says, your liver. Your liver gets angry. He shoots the blood, and that's why the person becomes red when he gets angry. Tchol tzochek. I think it's called spleen. Spleen makes you laugh. Why are you laughing? The brain. The brain sends a message to the spleen. Gemara says like this. Af. Why does Hashem make you a nose? Has 2 holes. Why has 2 holes? Why not enough? 1. When you need a nose, Hashem wants you to smell. From the ear. Hashem can do anything. והפעם נשמת חיים. His neshama Hashem injected inside our nose. But it says noses. והפעם. It means the 2 holes. Why? What is it? Says the Gemara, the nose wakes you up. It means like this: when you hear the alarm clock, the ears send a message to the brain, and the brain sends a message to the nose. It says, "Get him up." But it's not the alarm clock. It's Gemara. Page, I think 61b. That's the secret of our nose. גם שלמה המלך and שיר השירים tells you, I want to tell you something. הפך כמגדל הלבנון צופה בני דמשק. The nose that Hashem made us, יימח שמם, the Germans, in the Holocaust, we were able to recognize Jews by the nose, a Jewish nose. Because Shlomo HaMelech says, you should know, the nose of a person is Beit HaMikdash. Why is Beit HaMikdash? Why? Why Beit HaMikdash? How is it Beit HaMikdash? And the nose wakes you up. And Hashem so-called push the neshama through our nose. The neshama is the Shekhinah, it's part of Hashem. The nose is the building of Beit HaMikdash. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to know something. התעוררי, התעוררי. יסעי לך דודי, ההפטרה בבית, התעוררי, התעוררי, שירושלים. Wake up, wake up. What do you mean wake up? What do you mean wake up? What do you mean wake up? You should have in mind all the time one thing. I want the Shekhinah here. I want the Shekhinah here. As Hashem made your nose. To wake up. To wake up, it says to wake up. And what the thought that you have when you wake up in the morning? I'm going to the office. I hope Beit HaMikdash is down. I'm going to Beit HaMikdash. Beit HaMikdash, because I want to see the Shekhinah. I want to see Hashem fulfill so-called His desire to be here on earth. And that's the secret. Our nose is Beit HaMikdash, says Shlomo HaMelech. הפך כמגדל הלבנון צופה בדמשק, until Damascus. The Gemara says Beit HaMikdash, Yerushalayim is going to be all the way up to Damascus. I'm sorry, Yerushalayim, yeah. Beit HaMikdash is going to be extended until Haifa, until Carmel. All the shuls around the world will fly to Eretz Israel, will connect themselves to Kodesh HaKodeshim. That's the Maharsha in Megillah says. So this is our job. It says, I need to leave the Eli. Says, you know, what is this? Beit HaMikdash. Chapter 2, it says the opposite. Do they leave Hanilo? It's the opposite. Well, the Targum says, I tell you what. Chapter 2 talks about coming out of Egypt. So first, do they leave? First, my favor did something to me. What he did to me? He took me out of Egypt. V'hanilo, and I have emunah, so I didn't pack lunches, and I didn't take any food with me. I trusted the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Then Hashem did for me, okay, fine. Gave me man, okay. Now, Elul is the second stage. This is we coming to Beit HaMikdash. Coming to Beit HaMikdash, you should know. The purpose of Beit HaMikdash, v'hanilo, I want the Shekhinah to come back. And let's Chachamim say, this is a guarantee that you don't have any court case. Hashem said, forget about it. It's called Yom HaZikaron. Hashem remembers me. Hashem remembers you what? What did he forget about? You don't know. Hashem remembers that you have a job. Likewise, Akedah Yitzchak. And likewise, the shofar reminds HaKadosh Baruch Hu, excuse me, on the thought of Avraham Avinu, that he wants to slaughter Yitzchak because he wants the Shekhinah to come down, not because he wants to slaughter Yitzchak. Because he can slaughter Yitzchak on that spot. And that spot is the spot that Hashem is going to dwell in Rabbi Aderet. Amen.